see. This is the reason why we have the blacklist. We have the blacklist to warn customers about people who sell screen paint products and can't back their products at the end of the day. We just got finished talking about a fellow by the name of Jamie Fernando Gonzalez, who again clearly shows that his products are nothing more than house paint, and his website looks like an absolute scam site from the door. There's sections on the site where basically there's no proper information on the products. There are products on the website that have him in videos matching actual house paint. Products have really poor ambient rejection, which he claims his product's not ambient rejection, but he advertises it as it is. And you've seen the customers, their screens wash out. Those who try to use it in fully lit environments, horrible, absolutely horrible. Products have not been properly tested at all. This is another perfect example of another fellow who basically makes a lot of claims that his product is supposed to be this advanced product. It's supposed to be this amazing screen paint that it's not a paint. At the end of the day, it's supposed to be some kind of thin skin. It's an optical building system. But as I told you before, the site is never ever open. And the reason why the site's open, because I told you why. Number one, it costs too much money to make the product. That's what it comes down to. It costs way too much money. He does have a 4-step system. He does have 4 different colors, as we told you before, because clearly in one of the demonstrations he says that it doesn't, and the other one it does. So he doesn't know exactly what it does and what it doesn't does. He just doesn't know. On the website, there are stolen images. As I told you before, the other fellow basically got caught with stolen images on his site, stealing images from Google to try to make their products look like something more that they're not. This fellow did the exact same thing too. He also stole images from Google to try to make his images look like something more than they're not. So they claim that these products actually work, but again, like I said, no testing. This guy has a lot of images on his site that were stolen from other people. I mean, everything you've seen on there does not belong to him. It belongs to somebody else. The names of these products are not his. Actually, the names are, no, actually, they're not. There's somebody who actually has these right here. And as I told you before, that he can't open the site because, again, the product costs too much money to be able to make. It is a 4 process. It's a 4 screen paint process that has 4 different colors. And like I said, to make each one would cost him a lot of money. It would cost him more than what the product is worth. And because of this, he can't open the site. There's another reason why he's not opening the site also too. People are going to test the theory of this product. His product, majority, half and half, which you get half paint, half water, which means if any customer ever gets their hands on this product, they are buying water. Half of their product is going to be water. So that's automatically from the door a scam. You're not even getting all paint, half of it's water. He claims that the water is a delivery system designed to keep the product from evaporating, or I don't know, it just evaporates without water. So if we ever get our hands on it, which I doubt we ever will because the site's never open, I guarantee you if we drain all the water out of the container, or if anybody else drains all the water out of the container, they would clearly see that it's not going to do anything at all. It's not like going to open it up and a bunch of powder is going to pop out of it. Nothing's going to happen. So we've gone to his site quite a few times. He's already made statements that he has his site closed for certain days. We've been in here every single day for 2 weeks, and the site has always been closed. I don't know how people advertise a product and then turn around and talk about how their product is so great. When we come in here, the website is always shut. Now, again, you don't have to close your website completely if you're not processing orders. You could be processing orders, like I say, Thursday or Friday. You still have the site open to take orders. That's the beautiful thing about having a website. It opens 24/7. You never have to worry about closing it at certain hours. Like if you have brick and mortar, unless the store is open 24/7, then that's it. But most brick and mortars close after a certain amount of time. Websites don't have that issue. A website can stay open 24/7, all day, all night, and you can still process orders. You can still take orders. You don't have to process them to a certain time. So if you say, hey, look, Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, we process orders, then they'll know that you process orders at a time. Doesn't mean you have to process them the minute they come in. You just have a timeline when you process them. So that's a poor excuse to saying that he has to shut the site down because for his me time. Not really, to tell you the truth. Like I said, it gets around to when you process it, which he doesn't understand that. But like I told you before, that his product is crap. It is, because again, his product. We know his product is crap. His website's always closed. He can't sell the product. He can't sell the product because again, one, it costs too much, and two, he basically raising the bar too high on his product by saying it does all these magical things, and it doesn't do any of those things at all. And that's the reason why we can't find anybody or any customers who have the product at all. Couldn't find one person that had it at all, period. It is basically Partey's product, from what I've seen already from him applying it onto a surface. It's nothing more than black and white paint with a lot of water in it to give it a kind of a thin like texture where you can say that this is not a water, it's an optical building system. No, it is black and white paint with water. And as soon as we're able to get our hands on one of them, because I said before, we made orders for, when the site was open, we did $700 worth of orders, and all the money was returned back to our account. Now we pop one here from time to time, and we do a video on whether or not if the site's open. It is always closed. Always closed. And we have people that actually been waiting to buy the product to get it over here, and they report back to us by saying, hey, look, we've been on there Monday, we've been on there Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's closed, it's closed, it's closed. We know on Sunday says that's his work day, his rest day, but it's always closed. This is what my personal opinion is. Your product's nothing but black and white paint with water in it. That's all it is. If a customer was able to buy this, they would not be getting much paint because half of it would be water. Everything you talk on the website is a complete, utter lie. It's definitely a lie at the end of the day. And you still ended up matching the wall after all of this. We'll go to his website. His specifications are completely bonkers. You're talking about your product has a two different forms of gain attached to the screen with screen paint, which is virtually impossible. It has to be one or the other. You can't have both. It's like having 720p and 4K combined together. See right there? He has two different gains. He has 7.75 to 0.8. You can't have two at the same time. On top of that, we've asked him about his product being seasonal. What is seasonal? How is a paint seasonal? And what seasons is it available? No information, nothing on there. We've requested him to come in and do this. Nothing at all. Half the pictures we have here in this selection over here, if you can see it, let me see, zoom this a little bit, right there. There we go. Some of those pictures don't even belong to him. Some of those pictures belong to other sites. So the whole entire website is a scam. It's a stack of cards. That's all it is. Just like the other one, Jamie, nothing but a stack of cards. No information on the products at all whatsoever. Jamie has a policy on his website that tells customers strictly that, hey, look, if it lands on your property, it's yours. And if you don't even open it, it's yours. But if you don't open it, you can get an exchange only if you don't open it. That sounds really scammy right there. He has over here that it paints up to 120-inch screen, but yet he's showing measurements for 150 inches and his description on how to basically paint on this product. And we're not going to go through the whole demonstration of this page because it's just too exhausting. But his black paints come up really, really dark, which I've seen in demonstrations. They really don't pick up any white levels whatsoever. He does a lot of demonstrations in very poorly lit environments. Screen paint does wash out quite a bit in those demonstrations. And on top of that, his black levels, his white levels on his black paint comes up blue. It doesn't come up white, it literally comes up blue, which means the screen's having a very difficult time picking up a white level. This is really bad. It doesn't work on ultra short though projectors. That's a first clear sign that it's having problems with white levels. And like I said, this is a seasonal paint. If I was a customer coming in to buy this, I would look at like, what do you mean by seasonal? And what season are you talking about? It's available. There's no information there at all. Application is extremely, extremely confusing. I mean, it's really confusing. Everything you see here is based off, even the chart, it's all based off this first demonstration right here, which comes in multiple colors. But here he states it doesn't come in multiple colors. It only comes in one color. But with the purpose of this right here, I don't know what this is all about. This is based off the entire website. I've read your entire website. I don't like to talk about people's products. I thoroughly read through their pages. And I've been to this page and I know it by heart. You talk about something completely different here. On top of that, we can clearly see that the container, when you picked it up, it's majority water. It's like half paint, half water. So like I said, if the customer was he or she able to purchase the product, how much of that are they getting actual paint and the rest of it being water? Like I said, it's like buying watered down whiskey. But anyway, this is the reason why he has to go over the surface multiple times, because he's weakened the paint with a lot of water in it. That's what happened. That's why it takes multiple strokes in order to be able to cover that one section right there. Right here, this is where he does the original one, the real demonstration, and this one actually matches the wall. I saw the demonstration when you put it against the surface. That wasn't even the same paint. It didn't give the same reaction off we have here. It was completely different shade of paint, a little bit darker. That's what you did. So again, you can clearly see that. If you matched here, you can't say you matched someplace else and the paint looks darker. It doesn't make any sense at all, period. Let's see what else we have on here on top of this. And the instructions are nightmarish. They're nightmarish. Multiple applications. The reason why you're doing so many applications is because he weakened the paint with so much water. And that's why he talks about this bubble oxygen releasing system, that those little beads you see on top of the paint, when you paint it in, little beads you see, the bubbles popping up, that's it releasing oxygen. No, that's the water that can't attach to the paint because it's not supposed to be in there to begin with. And that's one of the things, we have a few people that are interested in getting his products. They want to test out this delivery system he talks about. The reason why water is added to it, it works as a delivery system. Without the water, his product would evaporate. That's what a lot of people want to get their hands on this product, because they want to drain the water from the container, set it up, and see whether or not they come back and they got a can full of baby powder. I'm telling you from the door, and I'm calling it right from the door, that this product is nothing more than black and white paint with a lot of water in it. That's all it is. This is the biggest scam I've seen yet. Besides the house paint fiasco, this is a real serious scam. There's a lot of water in that container. I'll show you right here. I don't like to talk about stuff I'm not showing. So let's go over here real quick. Sort of video right here. I didn't see this at first. Like I said, someone pointed this out to me in the video. Like, you know, there's a lot of water in this paint. There's a little area in here. There we go. Right there. This is where you see it. I didn't see it at first when I first looked at the video. Somebody had pointed it out to me several times. Do you see that dirty water right along there? That's water. Do you see that dark area right there? That's paint. So from here to here, that's all water. That's a lot of water in the paint, a lot of it. And that's the reason why his product comes out, it doesn't take too well to the black surface. This is why it requires multiple passovers in different directions, because it's not covering that well. Why would you need to paint 4 times the exact same color over and over again? Now see, as he lifts it up, see how that water's splashing around in there? Yeah, it's a lot of water on the door. That's a bigger question. Someone was asking, if anyone was able to purchase this, how much of the paint would you be receiving? Like out of 100%, how much paint would you be receiving? I'd say it'd be 50-50. 50 of that's water, 50 of that's paint. That's a lot of water in there. That's why he has a very difficult time painting it on. If you notice, look at this. It's just smearing all over the place. It's not taking too well, because that water has weakened it. That's why. Now, why is the water in there? Well, he claims it's a delivery system. Like I said, everybody wants to test that theory by dumping the water out to see if it dries out. But the reason why the water is in there is because he wants to give it a kind of a thin, light coating, like a skin. That's why the water's in there. Now, you see this? You see how he's had it should have covered by now. This should have been covered by now. That's not like a child protective surface. That is actual paint. So he's having a very difficult time covering that. So that's not good at all. Let's get a close-up look. He has a close-up look on this real close. Let me see. There we go. This is the close-up look on it. That's how bad it looks. That means that that paint is so much water in this paint. You see those little bubbles right there? That's the water that's not taken to the paint. That is a very bad and nasty job. Of course you're going to have to paint over that. That's the equivalence if you go out and you buy cheap paint. I've done this one already. I bought some cheap paint for the room one time. And I painted the room and everything pushed through. I could see all the the paint from the other wall. I can see all of it. I had to paint that room like 3 or 4 times in order to get that to cover up. Same scenario we're having right here. Same thing. Your first coat should never look this bad. Never, ever. You see all those little bubbles in there? That's from the paint. But it's from the water. But he claims it's basically an oxygen releasing system. That's what he claims that it is. No, it's just a ton of water in his paint. See how even the corners didn't even take. Nothing took. Now it took on this side a little better because you know why? This side was gray. This side was black. If your walls are different colors, well, I don't even know how you would even paint this to a wall because he does require you to take a cup out and pour a line down the middle of the screen, which he says approximately 2 to 3 inches. The problem you have here, that's virtually impossible. There's no way in the world you're going to be able to pour a liquid onto a surface and expect for it not to expand as it's being hit in the surface. Even he can't even do that. So I don't even know why he has approximate. That's a sloppy mess. That's like watching, when he was making that black do-it-yourself paint, that's literally like watching your kids trying to bake a cake. It's going to be sloppy and it's going to be messy. Now, also too, he makes a claim that if you paint it a 5th time, the screen is slightly brighter. I am really curious how that one even works. There's nothing special. Like I can see basically if he had 4 different coatings and then he came in, he had this special coating that was different from the rest of them that he applied to the surface that allows the screen to brighten. That I can understand. But to say that if you take 4 of the same colors and you add in an additional, the same color, again, it gets brighter. How does that even work? If that's the case, wouldn't each application, like the first one would go on, the second one going, it'd be brighter. The next one would go on, it would be brighter because I'd be adding the same thing. It doesn't make any sense. What makes that particular one coat different than the rest of them? So, kind of says it right here.
So, want to cover off. Now, this is a panel that true story. It's much more closely associated with your grandfather's leisure suit. And the way that this works is that you're going to apply 4 optical layers, okay? You can apply at the end of it, and I talk about this in the display for the actual application that Kelly does here. But you can put a 5th coat if you so choose. Shouldn't be required. But if you do put a 5th coat, generally you get just a subtle amount more brightness. So a 5th coat can actually help you out, especially if you're going to be watching it in brighter light. All right, so I'll be
that
uploading
is
our app.
Actually a lie, to tell you the truth, because again, that doesn't make any sense. I don't know which one you go with, because this is the demonstration that you did with the multiple colors, so I don't know how that would even work. So he's saying if you apply a 5th coat to it, so which one would you be using out of the 4 different colors? So you'd be using the first one you started with, the second one, would it be the one in the middle? Because remember, this is the application he did with the 4 colors, not with the one screen paint and the same color. So how would a 5th coat make it brighter? I don't get how that would work at all, period. That doesn't make any sense. I don't know where you got that from.
You can put a 5th coat if you so choose. Shouldn't be required. But if you do put a 5th coat, generally you get just a subtle amount more brightness. So a 5th coat can actually help you out, especially if you're going to be watching it in brighter light. All right, so
don't know how that would even work.
But regardless of whatever it is, you're going to want to paint it on a flat surface. In other words, you're going to want to make sure that it lays on a very...
Now, if you look at it here, as I told you before, his screen is clearly matching his wall right here in his theater room. He did a demonstration, like I said, it didn't match, and the reason why it didn't match because he didn't use the same coat, he used something completely different. So why do we have a match here, but in the other demonstration we told you to put it against the wall, it didn't match? What's the difference between those two? Because that doesn't look right. That's where you come up looking like a liar. Because we all can see it matching here, perfectly clear. But when you did the demonstration, it didn't match. So what did you do with the tamper with it to make sure it didn't match?
rigid, flat surface, not something that's got a lot of give or bounce to it. So when you roll this, because there's once
The sad thing about people like this, they figure that people are stupid and they were born yesterday. That's how you treat your customers, like they're complete freaking idiots. I saw that demonstration. I saw the demonstration when you put it against the wall, and no, it didn't match at all. But for some reason, right here, we have the same screen that you painted, your wife painted right there, and that matches the wall. What do you think? People are dumb at the end of the day? Like, we're not going to tell that those are two different screens? And between you and Jamie, you get these dumb ideas in your head that you think at the end of the day that people are too stupid to realize the dumb stuff that you do on a day-to-day basis. Jamie sitting up there with a video right there, bearing receipts, matching house paint, still selling the same house paint on his website. Really pathetic. Specification sheets, extremely weak. His specification sheets is just as weak as your paint at the end of the day. That's how weak it is. Very weak. Watered down products. They tried to give off the illusion that your product is not a paint, it's a skin. I can make your product over here easy. I just get some black and white paint. As a matter of fact, I'll take the same ingredients that Jamie has over there for his paint, how to make the Metallica Mix 2.0, and I'll just add in like half a cup of water, and I'll have the same thing you got over there. I guarantee it's the same thing. That's the reason why your website stays closed. Sat there in that video and you lied and said, oh, it doesn't come in different colors. And just saw the paint being painted in different colors by your wife. Sat there and said it doesn't come in 448s. Where else would it be shipped in? There's 4 different colors there. How else would you be shipping it? That's just basic common sense. Sat there and said there's no Vaseline in it. So literally just watch the video of you making products and having ingredients that has Vaseline in it. And your screen, the first time you painted on, had a reaction as if oil was in it because it smeared literally all over the screen. And your excuse for that was, oh, you don't want to paint the screen, you just want to get it wet. Again, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. I've never heard of a painter coming into a room and say, hey, look, don't even worry about painting the wall. Who cares? Just get it wet. You're going to get it wet when you paint it either way. That doesn't make any sense. That's just downright stupid. But anyway, when I told you that it costs too much money to make your product, oh, I was definitely right on that 100%. Because you have 2 different instruction videos there. Which one is actually the real video? You can't delete the other one because that's based off your entire website. So you can't remove that one. That one has to stay there. That's why they're both there. Common sense. I have to ask you a question on this one, Danny. Common sense. Did you watch both of those videos? Did you realize that you were saying one thing in another video and another thing in the other video? They were constantly, fighting with each other back and forth. Did you realize that? Or did somewhere in the back of your mind, you thought no one was going to see that? You kind of remind me of my cat when he sits in the middle of my floor and he thinks his cloaking device is activated and he clearly thinks I can't see him, but I'm staring directly at him. That's what you remind me of, my cat. Did you think that we were just too stupid to figure out that we're watching your wife put in 4 different colors, but you're claiming it doesn't come in 4 different colors? How dumb do you think we are at the end of the day? That's a slap in the face to your customers. Well, you don't have any customers because your website's never open. It's virtually impossible. You keep saying that, what did you say in this video? I'm trying to disrupt your customers. You don't have any customers. Your website's never open. And again, it's just never open. All right, let's check this out real quick. The lies. The lies. He says the lies.
For codes, you're going to end up having a uniform color, uniform look about the screen. But you're going to put on 4 applications because you're building.
You see all those beads coming up? That's water. That's the water problem. The water's not adapting. It's too much paint. It's too much water in it.
An optical layering system. No one ever said anything about fusion. There was never any conversation about layers needing to fuse. Okay, so we'll come back to that in just a few. But you can see that this is now dried.
That looks absolutely horrible. That's horrible.
And you can see the pattern still there.
That's not a pattern. That's streak marks, everything else you could possibly think of under the sun. That looks like you painted that screen with oatmeal. Literally.
Everything's still there from the first coat. And then we're going to do a second coat. Okay, and you just follow the same instructions. Now, the reason that Ken feels so threatened by this is because, once again, as you saw in yesterday's video, where he was trying to state that once you paint
a very soft and stretchy material, that it's going to get hard and you're never going to get it back over a frame. That is a lie, at least for Partey products. For paint,
Yeah, because you have a ton of water in it. That's why. A lot of water. Which is interesting when you really think about it, how much of the customer, when if he or she is able to get this, how much of that are they actually paying for when it comes to paint? And how much they just pay for water? Because that's a lot of water. A lot of freaking water in there.
the lies that Crystal Edge Technologies
That's a lot of water.
has actually put out about Partey's products and the application process. So I'll cover them off just in little bits here, but you can see this is one container that I'm making here. Doesn't matter which mixture it is.
Now, in here, you make a statement about customers. I'm curious to know customers who, when, and where, because again, every time we go to your site, it's closed. I've got people watching your site right now to put an order in, and they've been contacting me like, look, man, we've been there Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Everything that's posted when your site is never open, never open. Interesting that you're paying, I don't know what you pay for a Squarespace. I know what I paid for my site. My sites make money, so they pay for themselves. But this right here is clearly a site that he's paying for that he can't even open up. I guess in fear that someone's going to get their hands on it and pop the top and drain all that water out of it and see whether or not this thing turns into baby powder, or basically someone's going to figure out basically that it is just black and white paint with a lot of water in it.
Remember correctly, I was using Vega Plus here, but really doesn't matter because it's one container. It'll be one 48-ounce container of one product. You don't get 4 different containers. You don't get 4 48s, which is what he's told you out there, that you'll get 4 different containers. You'll do one coating from each container, and each one of those is a little bit different from the other. That's a complete damn lie.
So what the freak is this about over here?
But it's got a lot of texture. I just put enough. If you can make it out there, there's little places in it, right? So I just put enough on here to give you an example. People are rolling it, right? So the formula is not going to be like that. You will see how it works. And it's all going to be okay. I promise you. You're going to roll in the container.
You can count, Danny. I'm pretty sure you can. You can tell colors, right? This is people right now on the forum site. They got them side by side in the forum sites. We have them at, and they're in there crying and laughing because this guy clearly just sat there and said that I was a liar, and he never said that. And here he has this white, but in several different colors. Same thing, like the whole thing. Like I said, with the whole Charlie Murphy and the cowboy boots. Same thing. And you see how the screen smears on? It doesn't even take. We had the same problem when we actually made that free product with that baby oil or whatever that stuff is, that body gel. It just smeared all over the surface. Yeah, it's a mess. It was an absolute mess. That's one coat right there. There are things you said in this demonstration that didn't make any sense either. He sat there and said that the reason why you use less material because basically it's less to clean out of the roller. You do know that if you use a 180-inch screen and a 150-inch screen, a 100-inch screen, they're all going to have the exact same amount of paint saturating the roller. Doesn't make a difference. I don't know where you got. Again, this is bonkers, man. Look at this. That's a different color. That's 2 colors right there. That's a different color. That's 2. So how would you ship this? It's like a math class where I am. Danny, how would you ship this? Would you ship this in all one container, knowing they're 2 different colors, or would you ship them in 2 separate containers? And you make 48s, right? All right, just want to get to that real quick. All right, so that's one coating right there being put in. All right, that's a different color, right? Completely different color, as you can see. Not the same color, completely different. So now that's 3 colors, 3. So how are you shipping this all in one container or in 3 different containers of 48s? All right, then. I was wondering about that. Let's keep going. We got one more to go. All right, let's bring it back a little bit.
For the 4th and final coat,
Now, that's another coat. Different color again. Not the same color, is it? Completely different. So that'd be 4 containers. 4 containers, 4 different colors. You have 48. How else would you ship them in? I can't think of any place else how you would ship them without the colors actually combining to it, merging together. How would it work? Enlighten me. I would love to know how that's done. Because if you figured out a way how to ship 4 different colors in one container without them cross-contaminating each other, you're a millionaire. So tell me how that's done. How do you ship that into a container that doesn't involve 4 48s? He doesn't know because you have to ship it in 4 containers. And its containers are 48, so it would be 4.
Of those is a little bit different from the other. That's a complete damn lie. You'll get 4 different containers. You'll do 1 coating from each container, and each one of those is a little bit different from the other. That's a complete damn lie. It's 1 48-ounce container, and which is what he's told you out there, that you'll get 4 different containers. You'll do 1 coating from each container, and each one of those is a little bit different from the other. That's a complete damn lie. It's 1 48-ounce container of whipped.
You must think people are stupid. That's the only thing it comes down to. You must think in the back of your mind that we don't have customers. We can't say you have any because your site's always locked. You just must think people are idiots at the end of the day. Now, you have to. That's the only way I can come up with it. You must sit back in your backyard and think, I'm come up with this idea. I'm going to basically do a video, and I'm going to debunk my own video and call him a liar on something that I actually said in the video. And then I had noticed this Ken's lies up there. Interesting. That's just as worse as Jamie getting on YouTube and showing off the Cinemax and saying, hey, it's a completely different product. It's this, that, and the other. And there's a video of him clearly showing them matching house paint. Showing the receipts and everything. This is how you guys operate. And you want people to believe your word at the end of the day. You lie so much, it's not even funny. This is why when we request for tests, you don't do it. It's why we request for matching better tests, you don't do it. You don't do anything that we do over here. If I say I'm going to do something, I get it done, and it's done. You guys don't do it at all, period. You know how many certified screens I've tested in my timeline? Quite a lot of them. If I say I'm going to do something, I do it, I get it done. You guys lie in all your demonstrations. This is why I got this mess going on. Oh, gee whiz Louise. So judging by, it's 4 applications, but it's only somewhere between 20 to 30 passes over the surface you have to do. Look how many passes he has to do over the surface. Watch this.
A second coat, okay? And you just follow the same instructions. Now, the reason that Ken feels so threatened by this is because, once again, as you saw in yesterday's video, where he was trying to state that once you paint a very soft and stretchy material, that it's going to get hard and you're never going to get it back over a frame. That
you painted this surface correctly? Because I'm looking right here and I'm seeing areas that you haven't even touched with the roller. That's all exposed. I told you, he covered the whole screen. The problem is the screen won't tape because he weakened the material, but in a lot of paint. That's pretty bad. You got trim that hasn't even been painted correctly. You didn't paint your screen right. You're not even in the demonstration where you were lying. You didn't even paint the screen right. This area is not painted, and there's an area over there that's not even painted correctly. Whole thing's not even covered.
That is a lie, at least for Partey products. For paint, I agree with that, because paint will stiffen. That's what paint does. You get paint chips. You'll never get a chip out of this. This will never get hard enough to chip. It's a flexible material.
That's because there's a lot of water in it. That's why it's flexible material. First things first, let me explain something to you, Partey. I have done dozens and dozens and dozens of fixed frame screens. Customer already is going to have a headache putting it together, because usually customers don't like to see all these parts and pieces all over the place. I'm like, gee whiz, this is going to become a bit overwhelming, and it's come overwhelming if you do it for the first time. After you do it a couple of dozen times, it's nothing. It's pretty easy. It's like pretty much like, walking across the street. It's very easy. But the first time you do it, it becomes a little bit overwhelming because there's a lot of parts that come with fixed frame screens. Last thing a customer wants to do is take apart a screen. They don't want to do that. So you're advising them to basically take apart the screen, to remove the material out, paint that, and put it back in. That's just too much work at the end of the day. That's a headache to put together. So for us, it's easy. We just take a piece of material, we pad the back of the bar so it doesn't lose an imprint, and we just tape up the screen. That's all we do. And we drop our paint, we paint it, pull out the material from the back, we hang it up, and we're done. That's it. There's no taking apart anything at all, period. Oh, my goodness. Unbelievable.
What it's designed to do. And it terrifies him because he can't understand what's happening with the product. And I'm saying it again because he only knows paint and color. That's the only things. So he decided that it was in his best interest as a competitor to lie about another competitor.
You're not even a competitor. You have to have an open website to be a competitor. You have to have products that basically show that they can back themselves to be a competitor toward us. You don't have that. You don't even have an open website. Your website's not even functional. And again, right here, you're supposed to pour that line between 2 to 3 inches wide from one end to the next, as you claim you're supposed to do. You can't even follow your own instructions correctly.
There's application process as well as the product itself.
Where happened to the straight line from one end to the next, as you told your wife in detailed instructions how she had to pour that line down the middle of the screen? Okay, you don't need to do that in the day. It's paint. Just pour it on there and you're done. That's it. This is just a bunch of fluff.
Because you hear him consistently say that my product is nothing more than house paint. Now, I would remind you that Kenneth has never seen a Parte product face to face.
Well, we would have if you didn't stop canceling the orders and basically take the money, but you were too afraid. Simple and plain. We sent you $700 worth of your product. You just kept giving us back the money because your product doesn't work. Because I would have tested the daylights out of that. Every test you didn't do to that product, I would have ran it through the same test we put our products through. And I guarantee you that product would have came up as paint. It's just a bunch of water in there. That's all it is. But we did that already. We tried to place orders through your site, but Parte kept canceling the orders. And interesting now that even when we're trying to buy your paint now, my people are trying to get in to get your access to your product, your site's closed all the time. So yeah, that's interesting. Here, Parte, just to show a few. So I don't look like I'm not a liar on camera. Isn't this your product right here? What does it say right here? Money returned, right? Placed an order. Isn't that you right there? There's another one right there. See, y'all leave out things at the end of the day. You always leave out stuff at the end of the day that makes you look like liars. We placed orders right to your site. Turn the money back to the account again. Placed another order for your product. These are for sample packs. Did you know he had sample packs? Oh, yeah, he did. We ordered several of them. Guess where the money went at? Returned right back to our account. You couldn't process the order. So don't sit there and say that we never had a product. We could have had a product, but you were too afraid to ship it out. And therefore, since you were afraid to ship it out, you gave me back my money. Let's go back and repeat what he just said.
That my product is nothing more than house paint. Now, I would remind you that Kenneth has never seen a Parte product face to face. He's never had it. So how would he know that it's just a house paint? But that's what he's doing. He's definitively stating that it's nothing more than a house paint.
It is.
Now, folks, he's also definitively told you that it contains Vaseline. Now, he's tried in a couple of subsequent videos to turn it to vegetable oil, but he always comes back to Vaseline. But the whole point is to introduce something malicious, right? He's trying to tell you that there's a component that's in our mixtures that shouldn't be. Problem is that it's not there to begin with. It never has been there. There's never been Vaseline.
Now it's funny because in this demonstration, the first screen that popped up he painted in was smearing and rubbing all over the screen. That's Vaseline. We had the same reaction when we made the free screen paint product. We had the same reaction. The reason why he gave that away for free, because he was selling that at one point. He was trying to sell it at one point. It didn't take off too well because people who did have it were complaining about hot spotting like crazy on the screen because, again, that oil Vaseline that was in there. But anyway, you say you don't add anything special to it. You have a ton of water in your paint right now. You don't add anything to it. That's a ton of water. This is why you have made multiple passes. You should have had already finished this already with 2 passes. And I want you to watch this. How many times he has to pass over the screen. That means that once you put 4 coats on it, that means you're going to have to do a pass over of probably 20 to 30 passes over 1 coat.
Well, as the product itself, because you hear him consistently say that my product is nothing more than house paint. Now, I would remind you that Kenneth has never seen a Partey product face to face. He's never had it.
Wonder why?
So how would he know that it's just a house paint? But that's what he's doing. He's definitively stating that it's nothing more than a house paint. Now, folks, he's also definitively told you that it contains Vaseline. Now, he's tried in a couple of subsequent videos to turn it to vegetable oil, but he always comes back to Vaseline.
Now, once you look at how many times he passes over the screen, it's quite a lot. And the reason why is because with all that water in the paint, it's not taken to the surface too well.
But the whole point is to introduce something malicious, right? He's trying to tell you that there's a component that's in our mixtures that shouldn't be. The problem is that it's not there to begin with. It never has been there. There's never been Vaseline. We've told you what most of the components are. They're not Vaseline, and it's just with malicious intent. He tells you that. Think of it in the context of the CEO of Pepsi coming out making a public statement that Coca-Cola has started putting something into their product that will hurt people, but it not being true. What do you think is going to happen? Truth is, Partey products are nothing like he describes. It is a completely unique product, and Mr. Bird has claimed that he knows
Do you see how many times he had to pass over that surface? That's a lot to pass over a surface. That's because the surface is not taken. You see those little black spots? That's the original screen, the first surface pushing through. He can't cover it correctly. That's why he's passing over top of it. That means for every coat, you're going to pass over that surface at least about 20 or 30 times. Why are you still passing over it?
exactly what's in it, exactly what's going on, and yet has never seen it in person. Never. So what Ken has essentially done is move from speculation into defamation. You slander.
No, it's not slander because we have receipts right here. We try to order your product and you keep canceling the orders. We would have had the product. And it is house paint at the end of the day. It's definitely house paint. But as soon as you open up your website, we'll buy it, we'll get it down here, we'll drain it, and we'll basically see if this whole evaporating system is going to happen. And I guarantee your product's nothing but paint. This is what happens if you put too much water in paint. It's the same reaction you get. But just seeing how many times he passed over the surface, yeah, that's because the surface is not taken. He's weakened the product with a lot of water. He's going to have to put multiple coats in order to show us somewhat of an even image, an even surface. Well, he's still hitting the screen. Look.
All with the intent to try to scare people away from buying it. Now, as you can see here, we just finished our second coat.
That right there is black on there, and this is gray. You see how the gray basically covered better, but if your surface is a different color, yeah, good luck. You're definitely going to prime that surface and put this stuff on.
So part of that process, whenever you finish your coat, when you look at the screen, what you're going to see is a lot of little bubbles.
There we go.
So keeping in mind, this is more like using plastics or resins. So you're going to get some bubble creation. Now, generally in resins, that's a big bad thing to happen, right? So you want to try to keep that from happening as much as possible. That's part of the creation and design of this material, is that what doesn't work for resins works very good for this. Because what happens is that all those bubbles will pop. They're going to the material is going to self-level itself to some degree. But what's going to happen is you're going to see these randomized patterns of material.
Gee whiz, goodness gracious, dude, seriously. At this point, I just want you to shut up and just paint the screen. Everything you're saying on there is a lie. Take that nonsense over to ABS forums, any one of them forum sites, and speak that nonsense over there. I'm definitely going to pop in on that one. Usually never pop in on those, but I definitely will be there to watch you try to explain this nonsense over there. That's the dumbest thing I ever heard in my entire life. That's just absolutely stupid. You sound like one of those fellows that on those info commercials that pop on and they explain stuff to you like, you know, this is some kind of polymer pan to set it and forget it. Just set it and forget it. You remember that crap? It was made out of some alloy space material designed to trap in heat. And then you have this guy like, tell me what you mean, Frank. Explain it to me. That's literally what you sound like, an info commercial. Literally. None of that stuff is basically, it's stupid at the end of the day. Bubbles. Are you kidding me? Releasing oxygen, leveling off the screen. Oh my goodness. I don't know which is worse. I swear, Saul could use this as a torturing device. Would you like to play a game? Just play you and Jamie side by side, just talking back and forth. Man, or at least for basically, what do you call it? Oh my goodness, for basically just interrogating people. This would definitely cause people to confess. That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my entire. You gotta go back on this one. Dumbest thing I've ever heard.
The material is going to self-level itself to some degree. But what's going to happen is you're going to see these randomized patterns of material that overlap each other. And it is the randomized diffusion, randomized reflectivity, and transmission that really makes Partey products hum. As we told you before, there's not a drop of house paint in Partey products. All of our toners, okay, so we make our own toner, which is part of the mixture, and that toner is based upon inks, not paint.
Do you have any idea how weak ink is, how thin it is? Ink is at the end of the day. If you had dropped water in there, it would have basically ran like crazy all over that. There is some texture to the paint. It's a little thickness to it. But here, that was ink and water at the end of the day. First of all, you wouldn't even have to put water in if it's ink from the door. It would have basically applied differently. It actually kind of came out a little spotty, and it was more like bled into the surface. That's paint. But don't worry, when you open up your website, we'll find out sooner or later, because I'm definitely going to drain one of those cans. I'm definitely going to see whether or not this stuff turns into baby powder. Let's show you this one live right here up top. Let me just focus this. Why the water is in there, because he does explain why he puts the water in there.
Example, because I'm going to use this as a little bit of a worst case scenario. So you'll also notice that there's texture on here because of the roller that has a good bit of texture on it, and you'll be able, you'll see as we go through this that this is not about being a master. This formula has been designed to make it very easy for you to do, where you pretty much have to try to screw it up. Maybe just take and do some finger painting in there. I can't guarantee against that, but this should be fairly easy. All right, so first things you want to remember is when you open up the product, you want to stir it very well, okay? And what you want to do is you want to make sure you stir the bottom. Almost, I do mine in a checkered pattern. I kind of go.
It literally has stirring instructions.
And then, you know, the other way, side to side. And I'll do that a few times, and then make sure that you get around your edges so that you don't have stuff that's just stuck to the edges. Now, this over time, probably by the time you would receive it,
Here we go.
it's going to look like it does when we mix it. But over time, you will have some separation there that could occur, and that's going to be because we use a combination of distilled water with something we designed here. The polymers in it are heavier. It's going to fall to the bottom over time. So your water will.
Did you just say distilled water is something that you designed here? So you made your own distilled water? Is that what you just said? Gee whiz.
Over time. So your water will kind of rise to with something we designed here. The polymers in it are heavier. It's going to fall to the distilled water with something we designed here.
I'm going to tell you something, buddy. I don't drink, but this would cause me to drink. Literally, this would literally cause me to drink. This is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Yeah, and we could see through this bullcrap a mile away. I don't know who else didn't see this, but this is can see this bullcrap a mile away. You're black and white paint. That's what you are. You're black and white paint with a whole lot of water in it, and you clean because it's very thin. It's not a paint. It's a skin. It's supposed to be an ink at the end of the day. I don't know how that even works at the end of the day with home theater. I don't even get how it even freaking works. But anyway, and then you state that and the demonstration that it has water in it, because if you don't have water in it, that the product is going to evaporate, even though it's in a sealed container where no air can get contact with it. Explain to me how that one even works.
The polymers in it are heavier. It's going to fall to the bottom over time. So your water will kind of rise to the top and separate. That water is really only there as a delivery vehicle for the product, because it's going to evaporate. What Kelly's going to do is...
What are you smoking at the end of the day? Seriously, what are you smoking? How in the world, if you have a product in a sealed container with no air to make contact with the product, how is it going to evaporate? Now I can see if you had it there for centuries or something like that, then yeah, that's definitely going to happen down through time. But still, that's going to take many years. I mean, many years in order for that to happen. How would that happen? That means that all the paint that Home Depot, Lowe's, Sherwin-Williams, and all the other companies are sitting on right now in storage units that's been there for, it's a shelf there for like 5 years. So after 5 years, or probably 3 and 4 years, they have sitting up there just waiting. That means any one of us will pop that can, just baby powder just falls out because it's just completely evaporated, just be an empty can. I would think mega companies like that would basically would have seen that coming, and they basically one day went back there and they popped the can, and it was like actually under the 5-year shelf life. And they go, gee whiz, oh, this stuff dried out over here. Well, at least we know we can contact the manufacturer and let them know that this is what happened to the product after we've had it up here for a while, that it didn't pass the shelf life. Yeah, that would have been stated. They would have known about that. And anytime you go to Home Depot and you ask them, hey, how long can I have this for so-and-so and so? They'd have said, well, you can't have it so-and-so and so because it'll evaporate. Or we have to add water into it to keep it from evaporating. So how, in that short amount of time, does a can that's properly sealed, automatically, it just evaporates? The paint just disappears. In order to have a water system in it, it has to have water in it in order to keep it from evaporating. Oh, my goodness. You must have been an interesting child coming up. You and Jamie both lie a lot. Y'all must have been some interesting kids coming up. I'm pretty sure you guys lied about a lot of things you never had in life. I guarantee you. You've probably ever seen those kids before in school. They lie about having the first Nintendo the way back. They lie about having this. They lie about having that and blah, 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 blah. They don't have any of those things. I guarantee you. Jamie just sat there and literally on camera said that his landlord paid him $300 to paint a bathroom. What are you painting in the bathroom? Bathroom majority is going to be mostly tile and ceramic. What else is in there is going to be for you to paint? And he'll give you permission to paint it. That's pretty much about it, with you having the reaction of basically going in and putting it back to where you found it at, or it comes out of your security deposit. We're not going to pay you to do that. Are you crazy? Where did you get that dumb idea from? And then say that he saw you out there working with your paint can and decided to get something that was unlicensed and unlicensed, not bonded, unbonded and unlicensed to go in and paint, what you said, like 8 units? 8 units? He did 8 units in something like 2 hours? Seriously. You guys are smoking something at the end of the day. You have to be. Who the freaking paint 8 units? This see how big this unit is? 8 units? Are you kidding me? 8 of these units in under 2 hours? Yeah, right. I don't know what planet you guys sit on at the end of the day. That is not going to happen. And let me get this straight. So usually units like that, like this one right here, they have their own maintenance crew. You know, crew comes in and fixes all those stuff that happens up in this place. They have their own maintenance crew. They don't bring anybody outside. Usually they do that when you're renting a house. They have somebody come in from outside and do that. I've rented houses, I know. So in an apartment, they have their own maintenance crew that comes in and takes care of all that. They shovel the walk and do all that stuff and trim the bushes and all that good stuff. So anyway, with that being said, why in the world would your landlord, speaking to Jamie, why in the world would your landlord pay or have the people he has on his payroll come in and prep the apartments to get them ready for the next people that are moving in, and go in and basically have these guys go in and do the prime job and the tape off and everything else in there to trim it all, to have you come in there that's unlicensed, unbonded, unexperienced, to go in and paint the rest of those units. That doesn't make any sense. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. Just like this guy over here. You guys got a clubhouse, don't you? I know you got a clubhouse. You got a clubhouse with secret words and stuff like that. I know you got a clubhouse. Got to.
I'm going to instruct her on how to get started with the product because it's going to evaporate. What Kelly's going to do is
when I get my hands on that product, I'm definitely going to be testing that theory out. I'm definitely going to be testing that theory out. My personal favorite one is here, right there. Here we go.
But if you do put a fifth coat, generally you get just a subtle amount more brightness. So a fifth coat can actually help you out, especially if you're going to be watching in brighter light. All right.
Another lie. So if you paint the screen a fifth coat, it gets brighter. So what happens if you painted a 6 coat, 7, 8, 9, and 10? Does it get super bright? Gee whiz. All right. What do we got here for time? Yeah, okay, I'm good. I'm under my mark. Gee whiz. Unbelievable. Mainly, all this right here, his chart he has here, he didn't even follow the directions correctly. You didn't, in that video, you just splat paint all over the place. And the one you did, the projection screen, paint literally shot all over the floor. That shows how much water is in that stuff. Man, I swear, this Joker. About Partey. We've seen this already. This is not even you at the end of the day. Nah, we blew it up. It's not even him. As a matter of fact, we blew this thing up. We looked around in this picture right here. There are no projection screens or nowhere else but a projection screen. You just took this image right here and stuck your name to it. Didn't even do any work in there at all, period. Not a thing. Another fake picture demonstration. From humble beginnings. Oh, okay, sure. Oh, my goodness. Friends. Let's see. It's on here for friends. Sonic Chill hasn't made screen paint in God knows how long. He's not even around anymore. He was around 4 years ago. He doesn't even exist. And this guy by the name of Phantom HD Illustrated over here, yeah, this is a fellow who came in and was bragging about the Valvo projector nonsense. We said the Valvo projector was this fantastic projector and screen, and then find out Valvo got sued by Elite Screens, not Elite Screens, Epson. They got sued by Epson for basically faking the specifications on their projectors. The projectors, when they started off, they were claiming there were 6,000 lumens, and they weren't anywhere near that. They were in the 1,800 lumen mark. On top of that, this is a projector, again, that has a 3,000-to-1 contrast, which the same 3,000-to-1 as my $37 projector sitting on the floor. And my $60 NEC has a 4,000-to-1 at 3,600 lumens. This is the image he's showing off on his screen. That is so washed out. That is absolutely horrible. I see we didn't turn that ceiling lamp on. And then we got the windows behind. Again, windows behind the screen don't count because they're not hitting the screen physically. Gee whiz. These are what you have on here for vouchers. Yeah. I'm pretty sure he didn't do his math right when he looked at that Valvo projector. Valvo projector, I hate to say it for people who own those projectors. I'm sorry if this upsets you, but those projectors are crap. Pixel shifting. Jamie, again, you don't know what pixel shifting is. And everybody knows what pixel shifting is basically when the pixels are compressed. Pixel shifting is nothing new. It's been around forever. And it's been used in multiple times. And Comcast had them for cable boxes when they were actually telling people that DVI would be the same thing as HDMI. So yeah, you don't know much about Jack at the end of the day. And so basically all this is just compressing pixels together. I literally had a conversation with a fellow, one of the spokespersons for Valvo on Facebook in their forum site, and where the guy basically said it's a 1080p base projector right there. So if I didn't know what pixel shifting was, he would have educated me on that. But pixel shifting is nothing all that special. They've had it for years. You act like it's something new. Nothing at all. That's the fellow right there, Phantom, whatever HD. Doesn't know jack about jack. Sat there and gave high points to the Valvo projector. It's a fantastic projector. It's better. No, it's not better than NEC. You take an NEC at 3600 lumens and you stick that next to 18. Are you kidding me? That thing would wash out your picture. How is 3600 lumens going to be 1800 lumens? And in mind, this is a projector that's claimed to be 6000 lumens, but got sued by Epson for fake specifications on their projector. Just like they go around telling people that they're 4K, but if you go to the website, it doesn't give you a resolution count, it just says 4K. Yeah, that projector's crap. 3000 to 1 contrast. Hey, that's pretty bad. That's extremely bad. My projector behind me has higher contrast and has higher lumens than that projector, and it costs 60 bucks. Sonic Chill, again, hasn't made screen paint, and he was 4 years ago. He stopped making paint a long time ago. I don't even know what happened to this guy. Elite Screens, they don't know you, and you don't have enough tests against Elite Screens. Screen Innovation definitely doesn't know you. They know us at the end of the day. They know exactly who we are at the end of the day, but they don't know you. Daylight Screens, all these screens you have you tested your product against any of these screens we have here? We've done all of these, every last one of them. Yeah. So basically, at the end of the day, man, your website here is fake. You can't buy anything out of here. Look. You can't open up your page. What did I tell you, Partey? I gave Partey a little... No, sorry, you can't have the name Partey. Partey is not even your freaking name. Partey is owned by somebody over in England that owns that name. That's not even his name. This doesn't belong to him. This doesn't belong to him. None of this belongs to him. Let me show you real quick. We'll go to Partey right quick. Doesn't even own. That's why we call him by Danny. Let me go over here real quick. There we go. Let's put your name right there. Let's see what comes up. Session time. Oh, shoot. I forgot we was in here for a bit. Yeah, start over. Here we go. Get time on those places. There we go. This is owned by a fellow in England. First one that pops up. Music, sound recording. That's who he is. Partey is actually a music producer. There's his creation claimed in 2022. You ripped this guy off. Stole his name. These are the names of some of his songs right there. Where's your name up there? I don't see your name anywhere up there at all, period. You're going around calling yourself Partey and you ripped that name off of somebody else. What about your logo? You own that logo? Let's see. Let's go pop over to your logo. Let's hit the image search. Logo's not yours. This is all that's coming up. And let's look at a search. It's fine. Do a search fine on that one. See what comes up. Look what comes up. Does your name pop up? Nope. Nowhere to be found. It should pop up right there where it says the first one. That's your logo, right? And these are dummies. We don't use those. These are our real labels. Let's see. Let's go to Blackshot. Let's see. Need home. We need our labels. Those are dummies. to, let's see. Oops, not supposed to be in there. Definitely supposed to be in there. Let me see. Here we go. We're in the front. Sorry about that. Let's go to, oh, we gotta bring this all the way. Hold on. There we go. My home page. Because it can only say on that label, Black Series Edition. Or it can say on it. We have the titles on there. We have to get one without the title. Can't have the title on it. Like if we have right here, it has to say exactly what we put on the title. Can't say this, has to say this, this, can't say that. So we have to grab one with, oh, I forgot copyrights right here. I got it right here. Where are we at right here for our copyright logos? Let me see. Links and info. There it is. That's our logo right there. Has our copyrights right there attached to it. Oh, man, we got this protection on here now that doesn't allow people to take our stuff. All right. Yeah, we just put this on here a couple of days. That keeps people from stealing and taking our stuff and using it without our permission. Can't hit the back button on that. Let's see if we can grab it out of our folder. Oh, and before you say that Black Series Edition is not copyrighted, let me show you something really quick. Let's see. Let's go back here. Let's go back again. Here we go. Wrong keyboard. Make sure we get that right. Oh, wait a minute, I gotta check on this for a minute. What the freak? That'd be after I just paid money for it. I paid a lot of money for that. Make sure we got it right, because we got original copyrights here. Make sure I'm not putting it in incorrectly. Yes, tax forms. Yeah. My copyright right here. So that's my vending number right there. That sucker better be in there. Shoot. Ah, my bad. I messed up. That's my copyright. About to say, wait a minute. I know I paid for that sucker too at the end of the day. I gotta put the whole thing in there. Literally forgot to put the whole thing in there. Let's see. Say, heck no, shoot. Paid all that money? Black Series. Yeah, that sucker had better be there, shoot. Those are my copyrights. Oh, sorry, y'all can't see that. There we go. Those are my registered copyrights right there on the Black Series Edition LLC. That's us. Oh, that reminds me too. I had to get my registration paper from my LLC so I can have that posted too, because I need that one. Yeah, I was about to say for a minute. I was like, wait a minute. We paid for those suckers right there. Yeah, there's mine right there, baby. That's my registration number right there. To date, that's mine. Yeah, it better be there. Shoot. That's how you're gonna have to come up. So when your name punches in, you have to come up exactly like that. Let's put in real quick. I'm still gonna check my whatchamacallit real quick. And make sure our artwork is based on the J. Okay, let's go over here real quick. Oh, we have it on the whatchamacallit Facebook page. It already has a copyright of my logo right there. Let me see profile picture. There we go. Told you. Bam. That's my logo right there. See where it says Unstoppable, Advanced Ambient Projection, 48 Black Series Edition, right there. Projection screen paint. When I pull it up, guess what pops up? There's my name right there, Black Series Edition, LLC. That's us. That's us. Darn right, shoot. I own that. Paid good money for that name. So I'll go pop over to, it's the first thing that comes up. So when you type them in, the first thing that pops up has to be you. Let's go over Crystal Edge. Crystal Edge has more weight because that's been there even longer. Let's set my Crystal Edge page. Let me see, where's my Crystal Edge page at? That's on my Crystal Edge page. Go. This my Crystal Edge page right here. Oh, that's the new logo we're working on right now. That's the Black Edge. That's a new technology we're working on. Let's see if we have it here on the demo page. Crystal Edge Technology screens. Yep, any logos that come up, this is us with the first ones that pop up. Lost Saying God. That's us. We pop up first. See, Partey, when we punch in yours, nothing comes up. Not even a YouTube channel. Nothing will pop up. Only thing that comes up is those companies that pop up. We show you don't even own that. I don't think Jamie even has a logo, to tell you the truth, honestly. We did punch it up and curious where it would come up at. I wonder, where would his logo pop up at? And if you notice, look at all those cubes that are changed. You know why? Because my attorney has been very busy the last couple of days. Yeah, we've been sending out paperwork to people at the end of the day. You come in and find that you come anywhere close to matching that cube at the end of the day, then guess what? You're going to get sued for a lot of money. Like Jamie's going to be going through pretty soon in court for touching it. Remember the woman who had the purple one? Yeah, she removed it all automatically from the door. We contacted her right from the door, asked her to remove it completely. She's a Christian at the end of the day, so I felt no need to basically file a lawsuit against her. She's a very nice person, but yeah, she noticed it's not there anymore. She removed it. Because we could show our documents showing it belongs to us, that's ours. She was very nice, very polite. She removed it very nicely. Because again, you have to pay us. If you sold and made money under that particular, made money off that without our permission, you owe me money. You owe me royalties. And you're going to pay me. But she was a very, very nice person. And she did make some money off of it. And she can keep that money. It's hers. I don't want any of it. She's a very nice person. She removed it. As far as I'm concerned, don't care about that part. Now, as for you, Jamie, you did things you shouldn't have did with my logo. And again, because you have a habit of doing this, I'm going to clean your clock in court. So you know that. So Don't worry about what's going on with my products right now. What you need to worry about is court. That's what you need to worry about. But yeah, that's what should come up under your logo. Anything that has anything that should be you. You should be the first one to pop up and only you. If you're not popping up and somebody else is popping up, you need to get a hold of an attorney and make some phone calls. That's what you need to do. But you should never do this. You should not have this popping up. International Air Transportation Associates, and they were founded in 1945. You claim that you were founded in 2017. They were here before you. Way here before you. You don't own the rights to that. So you don't own the right to your name because it's not yours. It belongs to somebody in England. It's not yours. And you don't own the right to your logo. It doesn't belong to you. It belongs to somebody else. And if I go into search for copyright, so that's most importantly, if you're going to go file a lawsuit against somebody, you're going to have to go in there and you're going to have it on record. You're going to have that registration number, which is extremely important because this, my friend, basically allows a lawsuit to stick in court. This is why we got a filing date. You know how big a filing date is? That means basically while they're looking over your case, they have to see if there's enough evidence there to take it to court. And that's when you receive the filing date, saying, hey, there's enough information here. They filed it. The judge looked it over. They're going to start working on getting you a court date. That means your paperwork has already been filed. It's already been set up to be for a court date. We have more than enough to prosecute Jamie. And not only that, Jamie sent very interesting emails, as I told you before, because now there are going to be criminal charges attached to that too because of the racial slurs or hate crimes that's in there and a lot of the death threats. So he's going to face some jail time over that. Yeah, and you touched 2 copyrights, didn't you? You touched this. It's Black Series, which we saw on your page. You slandered that too. So that's going to be another lawsuit will be filed against you on that one too. You'll be getting another notice from CCB very soon, shortly, explaining to you that Kenneth Bird versus Gonzalez. You'll be going to court again. Now, the beautiful thing about that is it will show that we filed one suit against you for one company, and then it shows a record of you continuing to do this to hit the other company. This is not going to go well for you. The last thing you want when you go to court is you don't want a history of doing dumb stuff. You don't want that. If you stole a car for the first time and you're saying, hey, look, it's my first time, so and so and so and so, sometimes the court will be a little bit more lenient on you because it's your first time offender, okay? You made a mistake, you messed up. But if you show a history of stealing cars, they were like, oh, heck no. This guy's been here before. In another court for stealing cars. He's not sorry for anything. There you go, there you go. Now you see. Shows a little bit of a history. But now he doesn't own this at all. Whew, Partey, what on your site is yours? This is not yours, name's not yours. What is going on here, man? I'm gonna go back into. I love going to the copyright section over here. I love looking up stuff in here. Sometimes I just be looking up Coca-Cola or just weird stuff up in here, checking out. Just some crazy stuff in here. Let me see something for a minute. Now we typed in Crow Screen Paint Mix. Guess what comes up? Nothing. All right, let's recorrect the spelling again. Let's see if we changed up a little bit here. Let's go into this. It's wordplay. This maybe he's in there. Maybe he's in there. Maybe he's in there. I don't know. Let's give it the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he's in there. So let's do a little wordplay. Let's break it down. See if he's in there. Let me see. You know what that means, Jamie? Anybody can come along and take your name now. They can make that their name. You couldn't do anything about it. Either one of you got LLCs on your... No, you don't have LLCs. You probably don't even have a license to sell in your state, do you? Do you have a license to sell in your state? I don't think you do. Let me see. You can get in a lot of trouble for that. You know that, right? When having a license to sell. You have to have a license to sell. Even on a website, you have to have a license. Let me see. Let's put in just Crow. What comes up under Crow? Oh, nothing there. All right, somebody got it here. Who's got this? Let's see. After Flash. Well, this definitely would not be you. It's music. So it's, you don't know, well, you can't, yeah, Crow, that's music at the end of the day. That's not you. So it's somebody else doing music. So right there. All right, so that's not you right there. Let's try, usually you would just copyright exactly what your name is. All right, let's do one better. Let's make this a little easier because I don't have time to be going through all this. I would just go to your website, take your name off it, and just go and just put it in here and see if it comes up. Of course, he's going to be ranting, you know that, but who cares? Let's go pull his name up. Let me see if I go to... So this is it in the domain name. So this would be the name he would have the copyright right there. That's what he would have the copyright right there. So let's take that right there. And let's go to over here and see if it's there. See if this has a copyright on it. Keep us dirty, I know. Sorry about that, people. Nothing. You don't own that. I can take that from you right now. I can literally go in and I can basically get a copyright for your name right now. I can even, and the funny thing about it is, I could take you to court and sue you for you using your own name. I could drop an LLC on it. Definitely take it from you. You don't own this at all, period. At all. You don't own it at all. Interesting. Doesn't even know his name. Does he have any logos on his site? Anything we can pull from his site? A logo or something? Let's see. Where is this site? We just had it a couple minutes ago. There we go. So you can pull any. Do you have any logos on there anywhere? The only thing that comes is this picture of a dog. That's basically about it. I was curious. It should come up under him because it's right here. I don't know why it wouldn't come up underneath his. But it should come up underneath his. Let me see what that comes up underneath of. They're basically scanning this image right here. That's what they're scanning. Look at this right here. I'm just see something. They're just scanning that image right there. See who's got a search on this. Oh, that's pretty interesting. Doesn't even come up under you. Why is that? That's curious. Huh. I wonder why. That is very, very crazy. You don't own that, but that's weird. Watch, I'm going to show you why that's strange. Let's go over to Black Series. Let's go pop over to Black Series real quick. All right, let's see. We're going to pull out into Marketplace. Let's go to the Black Shop. All right. Let's get out of here. Get out of here. Let's go to the Black Shop. Let's go to, let me see, we have here. This right here. Okay, let's go pop in here. Let's grab this image right here. All right. I'm curious how this one comes out. Right there. Right there. Yeah! That's what I'm talking about. Boom. You know what it is? He doesn't know how to work his search engine optimizer. That's what that is. Every picture that we have is linked right back to our website. Every single one of them. He doesn't know how to work his search engine optimizer. That's why I was like, how the freak is that happening? Because it should link back to his account automatically. If he took the picture, he didn't steal it off of Google. He didn't. If he stole it off of Google, bottom line is that if he stole it off Google, then basically we could tell the image would be really, really close to the screen, you know, but that image he has is from a distance. So it's showing the Batman logo screen he designed It should have came up basically linked to his site, but it didn't. It came up under something else, which means that his search engine optimizer, he didn't even touch it. He didn't do anything with it at all, period, because the search engine optimizer allows you to be able to link your pictures and all that stuff directly back to you. He doesn't know how to do that. So that's why we pop up on that one. Boom. Now see the picture we have here? The picture we have here is completely different. That's not us. This is this people over here. But this picture that's going to our website right there, see right there? Comes back directly to us. And see how the image, when the image takes the image, it takes the image from corner to corner. His image just came up right here, pinpointing on the dog. That's why it didn't register as his picture being a part of his screen. It came up as somebody else. Look at the points on it. See the points? They're hitting from here, 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 and here. So that thing took an image of for the search engine optimizer. It actually, like I said, took the whole image of the space, the environment, everything, which we all, when we do our, it's a long story short. I'm not gonna get into the whole tutorial on how it's done. But anyway, long story short, we pop up. That's ours. See, I just clicked on the picture. Ha, 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 ha. Gotta know how to use your search engine optimizer. They give it to you. It's right there. You got so many tools on how to basically have me to pull up anywhere. They don't know how to use their stuff at the end of the day. He got the same page I got. He doesn't know how to use it. He's like, what the freak? I was like, what the freak? How is that even possible? Because I'm clicking. I'm like, how in the world is he not coming up? How in the world is he not coming up? At all, period. See when it clicks on it? See when the points hit? They only hit here, here, and here. That's it. So when we click on here, he doesn't even come up at all, period. Let me show you. Move over to the side for me. You can't see it from here. See, he doesn't come up. His image comes up here, but he doesn't come up anywhere at all. He doesn't register nowhere. Wow, how many of his pictures are actually coming up that way? That's jacked up. That's really messed up. So he didn't really do a proper job on basically linking his images back to him. Every last one of our pictures automatically link back to us. They come back to us automatically. He doesn't even know what he's doing on his own website. I gotta go through the rest of these pictures real quick. I'm just curious to see how many of them are not linked to him. Jamie, you need to understand what you said. Educate you. You don't even know how to work a search engine optimizer. How is that coming? All of them can't be like that. That'd be weird if all of them came that way. I gotta find out now. I'm curious. I gotta know how many. We did partays already. All partays usually come up with somebody else's. But I'm curious now. Let me see something for a minute. Where's he at on this page? We just had a few minutes ago. He's in there or something. Is he showing labels or dummy labels? Did we not just say those were dummy labels? Jamie, so you can understand, those are dummy labels. We mentioned this quite a lot. Anytime we develop labels, those are dummies. The real labels are the ones that have copyrights attached to them. You're a little late to the party. What did he post here, right here? He says, my new logo. It doesn't make a difference at the end of the day. Jamie, your products are house paint. That's it. You can make all the logos you want all day long. It doesn't make a difference. Your products are house paint. People know what they are. You know what you stand for. You have house paints. Our products are backed. That's why people continue to place orders through us. We continue to make money, and you don't make anything because, again, you can't even pass house paint. So I don't care how many times you say my new logo. It doesn't mean jack to me. At the end of the day, one person can't open up his website, and your stuff doesn't even add up over here. But I got to check out the rest of these pictures real quick. Poor dude. He's just going through it, ain't he? Let's go over here real quick. Let's see. I'm gonna go to his site, his shop, real quick. I'm gonna see how many pictures that they're actually even coming up under him. This one should, literally, that should, because that is basically literally the inside of his house, or his apartment. That should come up. Good gracious, he didn't do anything on the optimizer. Wow, dude, look, I know you're crying. It's a cry for help. It's not even giving him his credit. It's not even showing the inside of his wow, dude. Seriously, you posted this picture on freaking, you didn't even clean up in here. That's a mess. That is such clutter. I'm sorry, people, but that is on the verge of being a hoarder. That is clutter. That is really, you don't do pictures like that. You got to keep it professional. That's very, very unprofessional. Look at that. That is a mess. Oh, great goodness. Look at that back there. I'm not trying to be rude, man, but if you're going to do a picture, a presentation, because people look at this and this looks pretty bad. We got to break that down. I got to look at this thing. I'm sorry, people. You got to do proper presentation. You have to do proper presentation. It's very important. We're going to have a topic on this. Let's go to pictures here. New floors. That is a mess in there, man. Let's see. Let's see. Bad. Pictures. Backgrounds. Gee whiz, man. You gotta, that's what I'm saying. You gotta have, I went there and I basically built that whole entire background for my screens. That whole backyard. I didn't change entire environments out. So the presentation looks good with the setup. That's really bad to do. Have your setup looking that bad. That's awful, man. That's awful. That's really bad. It's not to be rude or anything, but look at this, man. We got junk and stuff down here, and we got this stuff all piled up in the corner back here. This is not good for a presentation. This isn't at all. This is very, very sloppy. Any customer's going to come in and they're going to look at this and they're going to be like, wow, this guy didn't even have enough nerve to clean up the environment first before he took the pictures. This is a mess. That he didn't even get the, let's see what this comes up underneath of. Ah, he got one. He actually got one. This actually did pull up underneath of him right there. Always give credit where credit is due. But you should have cleaned up that background. You definitely should have cleaned that background up before you put those pictures up there like that. That is really dirty. I'm sorry, but that looks hoarderish. It looks very dirty. You got wires in here all in the background. I can't say I got wires all over my background drape too. But back here in this closet area, you got a step ladder over there. This place is an absolute mess in there. I don't know what's going on with that over there. I don't even got anything else in here besides these. That's somebody, that's the customers right there. Let's see. We pull up on this one. All right, yeah, this should come up. This is from 4 points here, here, and here. So this one should definitely come up right there. Yep, right there. Okay, yeah, as long as you get those 4 points that come in here, 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 and here, it'll register. If it hits in the middle, it ain't coming up. Oh, that is really nice. Look at that right there. Well, we got a floor. We got a ceiling and floor screen just like that. Oh my God, that's so gorgeous. But theirs is bigger than ours. Ooh, I love screens like this. I love that when it hits near the floor. I love that. I got one in the next room. I freaking love it. When I buy the other house, I'm getting a 200-inch ceiling and floor. It's something beautiful when you have a screen that hits near the floor. It's gorgeous. It's like you're being immersed into the screen. Well, we're gonna have that in here too, also too. Gee whiz, that's gorgeous. I need to save this picture. Can I save this? Can I save it? No. Okay, then I'm gonna basically go in and just I'm gonna come back to this right here. Definitely gonna come back to that. That looks beautiful. I think that's an ideal for this right here. It's gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. I like that. Even though it's in a darker environment, but I still like that setup. I like how that's done. All right, let's come back over here. Let's see. Let's see. Oh yeah, so that's his right there. Jamie, you know they're not paying any mind, right? Get out of my way, I'm doing something. Let me see. Oh, man. Really, dude. Why are you in the dark all the time? What is this deal with you and the Christmas tree lights in the dark? That's all, yeah. Oh, that's gonna come up bad. You didn't even, yeah, it didn't even pick it up. Look, right here and here, it's all picked up. Chances are it comes up under a t-shirt. Oh, they gave you that one too, so that's good. But still, dude, in the dark? Really? So these right here have to be, they have to be, the ones that didn't come up, which is kind of strange, they didn't come up. But I do know that you don't own some of them. We do know already from the door. The ones inside of your house should be yours. I don't know why that other doggy didn't pull up, and that other one didn't pull up. But this right here, I don't know how you're competing yourself with us. We are ambient light rejection technology. Oh shit, I got packages coming in today too. Let me see what we got on here. Oh, for those of you got upset about how the inside of his apartment looked, no, you don't take pictures that way. I'm sorry, but I know some of y'all believe in cutting corners and not doing your job correctly. That's you. At the end of the day, your area is supposed to look nice when you do presentations for your pictures. It's supposed to look professional. That's how it's supposed to be. Not supposed to have a bunch of trash and stuff in the background. It shouldn't look like that. No way you should have all that junk in the background like that. We do our presentations on our screens. Our presentations look nice. You're advertising your product. Let's see what we come up under. Background brush up. Just came from here. No way in the world the area should even look like that. This is my presentation for my pictures. I built that presentation section. I took black fabric and dropped it all the way to the bottom, to the top, dropped the screen behind the back of it. I built that whole setup for that projection screen. People watch me do it right on camera. Either you're going to take pride in your work or don't do it at all, period. If you're going to put in a sloppy background with a bunch of wires and clothes hanging all over the place, then that's trashy. You don't do it that way. You be professional about it. Looks clean. That's how it's supposed to be. See how I covered the bottom with mesh so that way you can see the chairs and stuff picking up the bottom, because a couple of times it bothered me because I had chairs coming up the bottom. I didn't want to see that. Nice and smooth, nice all black background, got the screen on display. That's how you do it professionally. People used to, when they used to show off their screens, took a great pride on basically displaying it in a nice background with their technology. But instead, you got people doing pictures where you got, oh man, clothes slapped all over the place, and it just didn't care. Just took the picture for the sake of just taking the picture. Didn't even take the time to straighten up. And that basically reflects back on your product. Customers will come in and see that and go, oh man, you're expecting when you see home theater to see something else, to have expensive speakers, but to look a little neat at the end of the day. Gee whiz. That's just downright messy. That's really messy. At least you could have shut the curtain, moved the stand and got this out of the way, at least probably pushed those wires to the back, and then took a nice picture. I don't even know, they got things hanging over top the cat. Oh, come on, man. You could have been better than that. A lot better than that. You just didn't even care in this one. That's just sloppy. Oh, man, it's cluttered. It makes my skin itch. It does. I'm not trying to be rude and bustle in the man's environment, but come on. At least clean up this mess right here. I mean, people see this. This is the first thing I see. They're not even done professional. Can you imagine you go and see a demonstration on Optima and you see this? Presentation is everything. Now that's a little better right there. But still too close up on the screen. Way too close up on the screen. And still in the dark. That's in the dark. That's in the dark. And that's the only one he has in a somewhat lit environment, and that screen's completely washed out because that's supposed to be black. That's not supposed to be gray. It should be matching these down here. And it's not matching at all, and the colors are completely washed out. Well, that environment's really bad. Should have cleaned up in there a little bit, man. And this right here is a really bad presentation because right here you can see where the original screen for the church was in a well-lit area right here, and now it's sitting over here in the dark. Of course, the image is going to be washed out. They got this on a white screen right here. But over here, you're in the dark area right here. It clearly shows at the end of the day that they had to turn the lights out to use your screen. Yeah. Oh, my goodness. What a mess. Yeah, you need to take that picture out. That picture makes your product look bad. Well, anyway, your product's bad anyway. It matches house paint. That's what it does. And Partey, for some reason, can't seem to open up his website. You heard me on here, Danny, talking. Oh, sorry, your name is not Partey. It's basically Danny at the end of the day. It's not Partey. You don't own that. You heard me talking about your site. How come you don't open up a shopping cart? I told you, for the month of March, try to keep your site open for 1 month. 1 freaking month. Try to keep it open for 1 month. So we get your product down here, pour out all that water out of it, and see whether or not this thing is going to basically turn around and turn into powder. Because I'm clear as I got to see this. I've got to see this. Man, if you basically have a product over there, you're telling me that you have to have water in that product to keep it from drying out, we have to see that. This right here, this demonstration, doesn't match the demonstration that you had in the other video. This is actually a lot more darker, which means because it's pulling up a much more darker contrast level than the previous screen here, when the other screen was matching the contrast level back and forth, this shows that this product is slightly a little darker, and that's what you did in the demonstration. You can't do anything honest, can you, Partey? You lied the entire oh, God, we can't call you Partey. Danny. His name is Danny. Because you don't own this right. You don't have the rights to that name. You don't have the rights to that. You don't have the rights to the logo. None of that. All right. Well, good luck with that one and all. Yeah. That's all I can say. I'm not going to bother coming in tomorrow because you'll be closed. And the day after that, you'll be closed. And the day after that, you'll be closed. And the day after that, you'll be closed. And, Jamie, I know you don't care about your customers because, again, your stuff is house paint. And it is. But the fact that you didn't even, it's bad enough on your site. You got spelling errors all over the place, all over your site. You don't even take the time to fix that. You don't explain the product properly. You have nothing there at all. Wait. Didn't he just say his product was outdoor screen paint? Danny just said that. Let's see if you have anything in your specifications about outdoors. Because you have a screen paint outside. Do you have anything about basically your product on outdoor use? Let me see. It was the black one, right? It was this one, right? Let's see if you have anything about outdoors. Anything in there? Let me see. We have... I still doesn't explain to me what seasonal is. I'm still trying to figure out what the heck that means. And this gets right here. Paints up to 120. 48 inches paints up to 120 inch screen. How much? Okay, curious. If 48 inches, oh, we should have left the room open. Tomorrow, Danny, I'm going to leave the room open so you can come in because I want to talk to you about this. I'm curious about this. 48 ounces, right? Paints up to 120 inch screen. That's 40 ounces. How about 150 inch? Because you do mention it on your website. Just real quick. Let's flash real quick. Just real quick. Let's flash real quick. So if 120 fills up 48 ounces, what do you get in 150 inches? What kind of container are you getting? A simple question that we just asked. Here it is right there. It says right there. 150 inch screen. You have it right here. 120 to 150 inch screen. But what kind of container does that come in at the end of the day? Because I'm curious, you have on your site where it says that it paints up to 48 ounces paints up to 120 inch screen. Okay, so if it paints up to 120 inch screen, that means there's no more room left for 150 inch. So are you getting 150 inch and 120 inch from the 48? Is that what you're getting from it? Okay, I don't understand that one at all. It doesn't make any sense. Just want to see it real quick. But you have showing that your product does outdoor applications. So let's see. Let's see if you have anything in here about outdoor applications. We see it's seasonal. We don't know what season that is. Let's see. Please note, not intended for short throw projectors. Well, our black technology can pick up on short throw projectors. So I don't know what's going on with that right there at the end of the day. 48 ounces paints up to 120, which I don't know what size comes for 150 inch. I don't get that at all. If the paint's up to 120, that means there's no room for 150 inch, which means you would need bigger containers. Let me see. 160-degree viewing angle. Yeah, I can believe it's much less than that from what I've seen in the demonstration. Your screen pretty much kind of darkened. I don't get how that wouldn't even work either. Let's see right here. There's nothing here on outdoor applications. Why don't you have anything on outdoor applications? So what time of the day will your screen activate? Doesn't have that there. What type of lumens can you use outside on your screen? You have nothing here about weather conditions, if it can take snow, can it take cold, can it take rain. Anything in here at all? There's nothing here at all, period, about it. Anything after this? Nope, that's it. So you have no, here we see right here, we see diffusion technology allows for viewing outside. That doesn't make any sense at all. What the freak does that even mean? Diffusion technology allows for viewing outside of optimal viewing range. Really? Seriously? That's it? Let me see what else we have here. Oh, there's nothing in there. Well, that doesn't explain anything for outside at all, period. You don't even know what lumens you can use outside, so it doesn't, kind of leaves you in the dark right there. What about this one over here? Is there anything for outside? And this is supposed to be seasoned. Oh no, forget it. I didn't even have it available. Alright, that's supposed to be black. They can't use that for ultra short. Not intended for ultra short though projectors. Okay, our stuff works at ultra short. I don't get how that even works. This has an 8 to 9 gain. That doesn't make any sense. Again, we said there has to be one or the other. Anything for outside? Roll on or spray on formula. It's if rear projection. So this must be a rear projection. To understand how these screens work with ambient light. Oh, that's the chart. I'm not going to the freaking chart. That's just too much going on in there with that. All right, let's just try one of the gray screens. That gotta be even easier with the gray screen. Let me see over here. Let's grab this one, Daystar. What we got going here? Sold out here currently. Our lightest and brightest vinyl light, screen coating, just waiting. Well, you can't, because you can't buy it because he doesn't have it available. Let me see. 40 inches paints up 120, so you're not even going 150 inch screen. Let me see. Here's the whole Lux thing right here. How come you don't have this with the black screens? Why would they thin it? This stuff has water in it. Doesn't say anything about outside applications in there either. You don't own that. That's not yours. That's owned by Road 12 HDR. So that's not yours at all, period. I just checked into that. So you don't own that. That's owned by them on YouTube. So you must have screenshot and just took that. Gee whiz. Daniel. Can't even say your name right, man. Dude, get your right name up there, man. You don't even own that image. That's not yours. My goodness, man. It's a mess up here. Arte is a mess. You don't own this either. Oh man, you guys don't do a good job at all. That sloppy background is stuck in my head now. That's dirty, man. I'm sorry, but that's dirty. That is dirty. You got clothes thrown in the background. It's like watching freaking home theater for hoarders. You could at least cleaned it up a little bit. Again, you don't care anyway. You can sell people house paint all day. Look at that. That's not even yours. That's not even yours. Gee whiz, man. These are other pictures I didn't look up. That's not yours. You stole that from there too. Man. Dude. Okay, man. You got to the month of March. When the month of March hits, you got a 1 month challenge. Try to keep your website open. As a matter of fact, let's make it even more exciting because 1 month's not enough. Let's try 6 months. Let's see if you can keep your website open for 6 months in March, April, May, June, July, August. August. Your site has to stay open until August. You think you can do that, people? You think you can keep a site open? I mean, come on, man. You come on here, you talk a lot of trash about other people's products, both of y'all. You don't have no test demonstrations. If I go on YouTube, I can't even dig up tests on you guys. Am I saying it right? You should read this right. Personal mix. And nope, that's not him. That's actually a fellow who does Doom demonstrations on YouTube. That has nothing to do with Jamie. That's somebody else completely different if you don't believe me. There we go. Somebody does demonstrations on Doom and stuff like that. There's nothing to do with Jamie at all, period. Has nothing to do with him. You should get that correct then and there. Let's see. Put down test. Yeah, somebody doing right here. This is a fellow with the washed out screen. Gee whiz, man. That's awful.
That's good. Almond greens? You like the almond greens I got you. That's so interesting.
What's happening, Dad? With delicious taste and 50% more calcium. Blue Diamond almond greens. Don't just milk it, almond milk it.
So as I mentioned before, my intent of this is not to watch the reason for turkey in this kind of setting. I don't like the way it coming in. Is that
That's washed out. Right there. That's completely washed out. The reds are actually washed out right there. See right there? This is supposed to be red. This is supposed to be the same color. It's darker on this side over here. This is completely washed out. And your curtains are blocked right there. If you move those curtains back, the whole screen will basically disappear. Now watch how the reds change. Now see when he has the lights and he has the curtains closed? See, there you go. That's how I know your screen's washed out. The same way, even if he had those curtains open. Now see now? See how washed out they are? Yeah, you can see that I'm all the way. That's absolutely horrible. That's horrible. Absolutely horrible. That's nightmarish right there. Look at that. That is going to be washed out. Hey, Jamie, you take credit for this? How come these pictures are not on your site? I'm curious. How come you don't have these pictures on your website? You can't even see the grass. It's not even there. Let me see right here. Let's pull up. Well, here we go. All right, see how he has this blocked from here to here? If he opens that up, that screen's going. demonstrations. You gotta do them all the way. And that's still washed out pretty bad. Now, how the heck do you explain this? That's pretty bad. All right, not here yet. Okay, cool. I can wait on that. That's no problem. Where's your screen at? This is supposed to be, you claim, well, like sister, it says it's not ambient light rejection, screen paint. That's what you have posted on your website. This is the personal mix. He removed the personal mix. He removed the personal mix and put there in its place the Metallica 2.0. See right here at the top of the search engine when it pops up, it'll tell you exactly what paint used to be there. And it says personal mix. That's where the personal mix used to be at. So he took out the personal mix because the personal mix, again, was coming up matching the Behr silver screen. Everybody was doing that test with the Behr silver screen, and you were matching on that. And then they showed things where you can actually, at the end of the day, you could do the same thing with Behr silver screen. Everybody was running that test, and they were finding out it was Behr silver screen. So he decides to come in and replace it with the Metallica Mix 2.0, which turns around to be a product that the customers can make for free. After seeing what the customer went through over here on his screen, completely washing out. He has a 4K projector, by the way. This is his projector right here. That's his projector right here. This is what I mean by it. You had to tell him something. Because if you had told him, hey, look, you can't open up a window because that's going to wash out, and he does that, then he basically slammed you at the end of the day. But you had to tell him that he can use that screen in a fully lit environment. But see, this is where you mess up. You do a lot of demonstrations and you try to make people think your product can be used in a fully lit environment. You mislead people, and you probably misled that fellow. Because why else would he open up that window? What would be a point of him opening up that window? Why would he do it? Let's see what kind of projector he's using. There's his projector right there. That's what he's using. His projector is... Your screen paint literally doesn't work on 4Ks. I can honestly say that. Your product does not work on a 4K projector. Because even in your demonstration side by side to that Network Grade 773, that stuff started to wash out, and your product washed out right along with it. Your product does not work on 4K, Jamie. This guy has a 4K projector. Why the heck does this screen look like that? Look at this. That's his projector right there. That's his specification. He is 4K. He has a 500,000 contrast on his projector. Are you kidding me? Good thing he didn't do a Starfield demonstration, because that screen would have washed right on out. This is what happens when you do demonstrations in the dark. Jamie, you know I'm going to have to come back in on you on this one. You know it's coming, man. I'm thinking about not doing it because, man, I don't really want to spend the day talking about you guys. But, gee whiz Louise, you rob your customers like there's no tomorrow. And then you got a nerve to have a policy on your page that says, hey, if your thing's on your property, it's yours. So this customer wouldn't have gotten his money back or even exchange due to the fact that he used it. What the freak was going on? Look at that. That is horrible, man. That's horrible. Horrible. That's absolutely horrible. All right, this demonstration right here is about Partina opening up his website. We got to do a short one for Jamie. Jamie, this is not, don't get offensive over this, but none of my customers come up looking like this. This is pretty bad. This is extremely bad. That is so badly washed out. Where do you think that's a good picture at? That's a perfect title. Perfect title. Oh, we definitely coming back in. Gotta go. Thank you all. God bless.